Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. Hey, early morning, just got taken over by my brother. I'm gonna come out and feed these cows. You can see the barnyard, about 15 degrees, pretty crunchy, pretty froze. I'm gonna bust this up, scrape in between these bunks. I got the equipment running, started that about 20 minutes ago, and we're gonna feed them and haul some manure out. I'm gonna show you what it's like when it's this cold. My hands are freezing. I'll get my gloves on shortly. I'm patching up these walls where the belt feeder used to come through. Remember, I took that incline out. I got some heavy duty boards. I'm gonna stop this breeze. I can feel it right now, it's freezing. Plug all these holes in that we had, because hey, I know we got an open barnyard concept, but that's a west wind and it whips between them silos. So if you get value out of this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Okay, checking on these waters. They look like they're good. As long as they start drinking out of them soon, they won't freeze, so that's a plus. Those are old milk tanks that we collected over the years. Dad bought from auctions. Stainless, so they're good. They make good waters. And see, I got this scraped up. There's your pile in between these bunks, so we can go fill the mixer. But I had this one turned down. This is another one that we put in. We put an underground water line in. I had it freeze the last few days. I finally got it down. I turned it down at night. I just had to trickle some scorching hot water on that for about a minute and it would thaw out. But all right, let's go fill her up. Morning, boys. She's cold. Talking with a couple buddies that fill out of bags, or they fill out of a pile or a bunker opposed to these silos. The debate continues. A lot of interest in people wanting to leave their experiences and comments, but I told my buddy, I said, definitely a lot of walking, a lot more walking. Now I got to get the backhoe, bring it out here. And he says, yeah, you're doing some walking, but you're not doing any climbing. And there's a lot of truth to that. I'm not climbing anymore. My legs are feeling pretty darn good because of it. And we're in. And the heat's on in here. One nice part about having a cab machine now, the canopy 4430 I'm using on the mixer, I don't mind that I don't have a cab. I'm not on it often. I'm just kind of moving it and then pulling it in and I'm done. That way I don't have to open a door to kick that PTO on. It's just easy on, easy off. So for right now, I'm keeping that. And then you get in here, enjoy the heat. right, guys, the hay is in. Well, now what I gotta do is I'll drive. Well, I always shift this up in the high gear. Go a little faster. I'll drive around these bags and get the loader in position. Look at that sunrise, boys. Glistening off that sun. It's a great day to be alive. I bladed this out before it froze. I had it pretty muddy, and it's still a little rough. I got it as best I could. It was just so wet, but now I got my wish. It's froze. So there's your corn silage, and then there's your third cutting. We'll be dipping into them shortly. Hat back on. Now we go get the mixer. Yeehaw! Now we'll fire up and put the rest of that third cutting in. Mixer's full, guys. Let's lock and load. Now shut this mixer off now to pull it in. Leave it pretty much idle right up. It's what it needs to get it. Back it down a little bit. We're ready to feed just like that. And we're fired up. That's what it looks like. Let's go check in on it, and we'll continue to scrape the manure as this feeds out. Cattle are lining up, waiting patiently for their breakfast brunch. I'd like to get this down where I can eventually do once a day feeding. I know a lot of guys do that. I had someone asked recently, like, you feed twice a day? I said, yeah, that's good. I used to feed 3-4 times a day. But now with the mixer, I know how much to feed them. It's twice a day. But eventually, to be able to feed once a day, I think you'd have to take these free stalls out. We got a couple ladies laying backwards, and you'd have to lay some J-bunks in here, refab this. This curb would probably have to come out, and you'd push it. This post would come out. This post is just for these free stalls, and you'd come in with the mixer and out, and then back in and lay another big jag. It's an option. I'm just kind of thinking once a day feeding, that'd be beautiful. Check and make sure everything's working. Let that young lady go by. Yeah, got most of them alleyways scraped out. I got this one right up here. Update on the freestalls. Still using them. These are the new sections we just did. She's laying properly. Got one laying properly there. And we've got to keep moving forward. This barn needs to be raised. See, there's one laying backwards, and then to the rest of the barn. That's going to be some planning, but I'm hoping maybe this weekend. I'm not making promises. It takes some manpower. I've got my bucket out here because when I get them alleyways pushed out, that baby just wants to spin rubber on cement with that tire scraper being rubber. So I'll put the bucket on and it'll push that crap right up on a pile. The manure spreader will come and we'll load him up. Morning. Walking around here, I'm gonna flip this plow. Like just got enough time. There you go. There you go, guys. And they're feasting. And the mixer's running. We'll scrape a little more and we'll switch over to the big bunk. And we're switched over. Look at these two going at it. Hey, knock it off. They're all fired up. They're hungry. Yeah, I'm up here babysitting this belt. I'm holding it straight. It's been a common problem for years, but the plan is still to take down that second silo so I can drive in here and feed them. That's in the works. So this belt feeder's ran its course, 80s, early 80s. And my long conveyor, she's about wore out. I've got so much fluctuation, and like right now it's tight. It's very tight because it's froze. But when it rains, buddy, that thing loosens up 3-4 inches. About won't run. You can't take a link out because when it freezes back up, it's too tight. So that tells me right there she's wore out. It's probably been, like, I asked my brother, 10 years? No, 2010, that's 15 years. 2008 maybe. It's time. Even the silo man who's gonna take this silo down in the spring, supposedly, he said, "You haven't broke a chain yet on that?" I said, "No." He said, "Whoa, you got lucky." So knock on wood, because winter's just starting. I got to get through this winter, and there'll be some changing going on, so stay tuned. Just like that, we're done feeding. Mixer's empty, nothing's coming out off of that conveyor. I'll give you a time check, see how much longer it took us in the winter with this freezing temperature. It's not bad, it's just with that 10-mile-an-hour wind. I mean, I'm warmed up now, don't get me wrong, but it makes it about 5 degrees, and so it makes it cold. Mixer out, put her away, plug her in. Well, that wind now, boys. Put her home, tuck her into bed. Shut that scale off. You hear that? I can hear it whistling right between them silos. Woo, doggy! Let's go. Got most of that scraped up. Here comes Dad with that spreader. Cows are eating. Manure's coming out. Okay, manure's hauled. Got a couple cows here I dried up this morning while I was milking. Dried up means I'm gonna send them down the dry cow lot. They're 7 months pregnant and they're gonna go on 2-month R&R, rest and relaxation. Look at her, big old pregnant cow, looking very nice. Right on cue, cows are at the watering trough. Backing her in, load them up. Going to a new home, girls, for a little bit. Don't worry, guys, you'll see them in a couple months. You'll see them in a couple months. Backing out. Shut this door up, guys. That's a north wind. And it was just cooling us right off in here. We got to do a couple free stalls and we'll be out of here. Couple free stalls here where they laid in backwards. These stalls need to be raised. I'm not sure if I'll do them next, but they definitely need it. You can see some of the smaller cows do use them. Heifers maybe. But the problem with them is the big cow gets in here, tries to lay down and do the right thing. They're so big, if they get caught in here, it's an ugly picture. Okay, we're out by these silos. I grabbed some wood. These are, got a whole pallet of this stuff. I don't know exactly what it is, but our old milkman, Bob Chapman, the legend, got us a whole pallet of that. We were gonna use it for silo doors, or just anything. But you see how there's a big opening here? For no apparent reason. We had it here so we could fork a bunch of chaff, because a lot of wind comes whipping through here when you were trying to feed. A lot of wasted, and we would clean it. There won't be much cleaning going on here anymore, so I'm gonna try to box that in. And I don't know which more we're gonna do over here today, but box that hole in. And then here, I put one of these in yesterday. This was a hole cut in when this barn was built. We had an auger system. I don't know if you guys remember what it was like to feed out of augers before the belt feeders. Switched the belt feeders in like 2010, but there was an auger that come right through here. Well, I started boxing it up. I got to put another board in here, and then this is what I usually come in and out of. I'm going to box this in. You just feel that wind. Totally unnecessary. So I'm just going to try to close in some of these holes. In the back barn doing some cuts. I got my power, my saw, but here's this pallet of this stuff. I got to cut that down to 40 inches. That's a 40 by 40 hole there. Just gonna mark it here. It don't have to be perfect. 40 by 40 hole. Put these on. See how that fits. Got the one piece sitting there, but it's not tacked in. Yeah. Maybe Maybe I'll raise it up a little bit, but yeah, that's gonna block you off, Bubba. Okay, she's fastened. Big old hole filled there. I'm gonna put another one of these on here. I don't know if I'll do it today, and then I got a hole. But you see this? I put this in first weeks back. There was an auger running this bunk too, so we had dual augers before. Ooh, she's getting windy and nasty. Before we put them in there, so I got a couple nails I'm gonna peen over. Yeah, I can already feel it. A lot calmer in here now. There she's going. What you're seeing here is that original wall Grandpa had in here until we built around it. But yeah, that's still in here. All this, my plan is we'll come out, big header, roll up door here, and this conveyor will come out. Then eventually take that one out, but probably leave it until we get it figured out how it's gonna work. But so this hole is only getting cut up temporarily. Eventually, hopefully by spring, there'll be a roll-up door. Spring, summer, you know how things take time. Here's them nails. Looks good. There's a nice bull checking us out. Hey, buddy. Another hole getting repaired. Can't get a good swing on that. That might have to do it. Yeah. Okay. How about this guy? Doesn't have to be pretty. I'm just trying to block the wind. Boys, like 15 or 20 now.